Hello and welcome to my knitting podcast, A Cozy Knitting Corner. It's been a while since I've sat down in front of the camera and talked to you guys. Actually, it's been since September. Is it 6 months? We are in April now, 2026. But yeah, I now have the time to sit down. I can't remember when last year I switched and from this sit down and talk podcast style to a little more vlog kind of style with the talk also. This time I'm not sure it's gonna be every time, but at least this time I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you guys, and I am of course not showing you everything I have knit on and finished since September until now April. It would be a lot, but I would like to show you my most recent knits. A little warning, it might be a sock heavy episode. I am a sock knitter and I like to admit it. I am a sock knitter and I love knitting socks. I have a little other things also on my needle, so I hope you will keep watching and see what's going on in my knitting life. This episode is a test to see if any of my English viewers are still out there, and test if there is a place for me here on YouTube speaking English. This English episode is going to be a short one, I think. I think I would like to keep it in a maximum of 30 minutes and maybe upload a little more recent than once a month. Next to this, or alongside to this English YouTube channel, I have my Danish YouTube channel also, which takes up some of my time because I do that in this vlog style. Actually, it takes up quite a lot of time during my month, always recording, and the editing is also a big job. So maybe this English one is going to be more simple, just show and tell, sit down, have a little cozy talk about my knitting projects. And it's a test to see if I can keep up, because I would like to speak out in English about my knitting also, but I have no idea how all this translation and subtitles and everything works. So for you to go and watch one of my Danish episodes, not speaking Danish, would that even be possible? So I could try and link my latest episode down below in the description box. You can click on it and you can see if YouTube will translate it for you, or you have the possibilities to add subtitles to it, just to see if that actually would be enough for you, and you could subscribe to my Danish channel. You are more than welcome to do that. And then I'm also updating my Instagram profile weekly, more than once, 2 or 3 times weekly. That is also time consuming, and you are also more than welcome to follow me on Instagram. My handle in there is Nadia Vind. I can put it on the screen. So let's just jump right into the knitting projects, because I think I was showing you in September this Ingrid scarf. I was just in the very beginning back in September, and now I'm actually almost halfway there. It is this scarf in herringbone stitch, and it's increasing on the one side on every right side row. I think it's so pretty, this pattern, really. And now that I have knitted quite a lot more than last time I showed it to you, it's not that fiddly anymore. I think it's becoming easier as I'm moving forward. Yeah, I showed you the yarn last time, so I will not talk about it a lot. It's a blend of merino and mohair. I bought it in Paris in 2024 when we were there on a summer vacation. And it's from a book called Strik med et enkelt fed. It's a Danish book. I did not investigate if it is translated into English, but I know that she has translated into German now. The designer is a Danish designer called Mette Hvidtved, and I know that she is in the process right now of making book number 2. Not quite the same concept by knitting with one single skein, but like maybe I don't know the book, but she has talked about it, and it's more with maybe there would be 2 single skeins for one project, but it's still, the thing is still, you can use your one skein wonders to do some, or to make some nice projects. So, and this Ingrid scarf, when I started it back in September, I did not knit on it much, and then it was just hibernating, and it's not that many weeks ago when I picked it back up, and now I'm halfway there, so I just need to do it a little bit every day, and I will have a scarf, because I think it's beautiful, and because I would like to finish some of my projects. So yeah, and last time I was here, it was almost October, and I was about to knit 4 pairs of socks for October in a Danish challenge by a Danish hand dyer called Wool Collective. I finished now, a few weeks ago, the first pair of all of the socks. I of course knitted 4 single socks in October, and I actually won the big prize. I won their advent calendar last year, because I was drawn as a big prize winner. But this pair I knitted a few weeks ago, the second sock. It's also a Danish design by Augustins. It's called Tvebak socks, and it has taken inspiration from a Danish book called Brødrene Løvehjerte. The funny thing about this sock is actually the it's not contrast color. The dominant color, all the way, the dominant color is the blue one, but in the toe you need to switch so that the light color is going to be dominant right there. And I did not do that on the second sock. Can you see the difference? On this one the light is dominant, and on this one the blue is dominant. But I don't care. It's a beautiful pair of socks, and I really, really enjoy that I have my first pair finished. The next pair I will finish from this October challenge will be the Homer socks. So if I continue doing this in English, you will soon see the Homer socks. Let's quickly move on to the next pair of socks that I have recently finished. It's a pair of Scrappy socks for my son. And my son is not a little boy anymore. He is 11 years old, turning 12 this year. So he is a European size 38 now. And I'm a European size 40. So maybe his feet is bigger than mine before I know it. I am striping 2 scraps, a blue scrap and a multicolored scrap, and then I have a dark navy blue contrast for toe, heel and cuff. I of course made him a pair, and since I have showed it here on the podcast now, I can actually give it to him so that he can wear them. I love knitting Scrappy socks, but until now I have only made it like this with 2 different colors and striped them, and I'm doing 2 rounds of each color. I am playing with the idea of making more scrappy looking scrappy socks, kind of like the crazy sock lady is doing, or maybe even color work with scraps and main color in maybe white or another color. But I have still not started that. I'm just playing with the idea in my head. But it's because I have so many. I have so many sock scraps leftovers. And this basket here is actually also filled up with scraps, and I am knitting a pair of color palette socks out of scraps. And the first one is done, and the second one I am about to start the heel. I am almost finished with the heel flap. These scraps was, some of them were a gift. The gray one for the toe, heel and cuff and stripes, that was a gift. And this light pink with purple speckles was a gift. This dark coral was a gift. This one, that was a gift also. The only one I did have in my yarn stash already was this coral and this light coral. All the others was a gift. I received such a beautiful box of yarn scraps from another knitter watching my Danish podcast, and she thinks I'm knitting so many beautiful also scrappy socks, so she would like to gift me all of her yarn scraps. She was de-stashing, so I said of course yes, and I offered to pay the shipping, so I did, and she sent me really a big box. I could put it in picture of the box, and you can also see it on my Instagram profile. But this is my progress on sock number 2. I have almost made the complete heel flap. So yeah, I need to turn it and make the gusset, increases and the foot. I love these colors. It's not my typical colors, but I like it. And this is also actually, normally I am knitting all my socks on a 2.5 millimeter needle. But I have knitted one pair of color palette socks once before, and that was also knitted on a 2.5, and I noticed that I needed to shorten these contrast stripes, and I needed to shorten the last color for it not to be too big. So this one I tried to cast on with the 64 stitch count. As I remember, it is only a one size sock with the 64 stitch count, and I cast it on my 2.0 millimeter needles, and the fit is perfect. So for color palette socks I need to knit on a 2.0 millimeter or adjust the stitch count. 64 is too many. I need 60 stitches and not 15 rounds then for each color. It will be too long. So maybe it's easier just to knit it on a 2.0. Have you knitted the color palette socks? I think it's such a fun pattern, and you can make so many beautiful socks with both yarn scraps but also new yarns, but playing with colors. So many amazing socks out there. Check out the hashtag on Instagram. It's so pretty. I love that design. Yeah. Well, one last pair of socks to show you, and then I promise you no more socks for today. This pair is it's not special, but kind of special. Since September, when I sat down and talked to you last, I also... No, that was not right. Since September, when I sat down and talked to you last, I have started a new hobby, and that new hobby is yarn dyeing, and it's so fun. I really enjoy it. It's so fun, and this pair of socks is actually knit up in yarn that I have dyed myself. I have used 3 different colors. I know it's teal green and royal purple. I cannot remember the name of the pink one. Maybe it was hot fuchsia or I don't know. But yeah, I knitted myself a long pair of socks in my own hand-dyed yarn, and I think actually that the result is so pretty and beautiful. I have not dyed a lot of yarn, and this is actually my first dyeing on 100 gram skein. Until now I have dyed mini skeins and added it to my blanket or just to my stash. But I would like to try to dye up a 100 gram skein, and I did, and I knitted myself a pair of socks. I have not waited, but I have the leftover yarn here, and it is in my basket on the floor here in my living room, where I keep all my scraps of hand-dyed yarn, fingering weight, for my blanket. This is a Cozy Comfort Throw, inspiration taken from the Cozy Comfort Throw. I have not purchased the pattern, but it's a garter stitch blanket on a 5.0 millimeter needles with pure hand-dyed yarn, colors or scraps, combined with 1 thread of Holst super soft wool yarn. It is a little hard to show a blanket on a little camera, but I will try it anyway. You have seen it before, but this is the progress so far, and I love it, and I also love knitting on it. It's not a portable project, so I'm also always knitting on it here in my living room, and that is why it's also just in this basket on the living room floor. Yeah, I have one more thing to talk to you about, and I can show you another knitted project while I'm talking about this one, because last time I was talking about a mystery knit along, Gnome Along by Sarah Shearer, Imagined Landscapes. It was the Gnomkin and Gnittle knit along. I have gifted Gnomkin. I knitted Gnomkin and I have gifted him, but I will put in a picture. I will not show you, or maybe I can do that, but I could start to show you the yarn. Sarah Shearer started a new knit along this April for a Gnetty gnome, a beer inspired gnome, and it's in a brown colored scheme and a white for nose, contrasting color nose color. This is from my scrap stash. I know these two are sock yarns. I have no idea what this is, but it is a wool yarn, 100%, and I can feel it also. It's more rustic, but I thought it was the perfect colors. So if you are knitting the Gnetty gnome and you have not knitted clue 1 and clue 2, look away. I am now showing you piece 1 in clue 1 and 2. Here it is. It's a little beard, a little nose, and a little pocket. And clue 2. Are these two cute little arms. I have put it down now. You can look again if you did not want to see it. But yeah, I think Tuesday the next clue is coming, and it's today's Sunday. So yeah, one more gnome is on my needle, and yeah, I just enjoy gnome knitting so much. I have the book also by Sarah Shearer. I have knitted 1, 2 gnomes out of this book, 1 or 2, and my plan is to do them all. And this Christmas I actually knitted the Noel gnome, the big Christmas Noel in colorwork. I can also put in a picture of him here. And with that, I would like to say thank you for watching. I'll not be talking about more knitting now and showing you more knitting, but hopefully I will be back soon and talk more about knitting. And that would be new projects, of course, but maybe also some of the old ones in between September and now. Yeah, I will link everything that I talk about in the description box. And I will also link my Ravelry and my Instagram accounts there. So you are welcome to follow me there. Yeah, I think that was it. I just wanted to check in again here on the Cozy Knitting Corner YouTube channel. And hopefully some of you would like to see it. And maybe you would like to give me a like. I would really appreciate that. And you are more than welcome also to leave a comment. Maybe you can tell me where you are watching from. Then I can learn where my viewers are from. I'm from Denmark, and yeah, I do not know where you are from, but somewhere out in the world, and I would like to know it. Please feel free to leave a comment. That will really also make me happy. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see new episodes from me. I think that was it for now. Talk to you later. Happy knitting. Bye bye.